In this video, I'm going to talk about proper use of the towel for restraint, because I do in all of the videos that you've seen before use the towel, and I want to talk kind of a little bit about how to pick the proper towel. I do see the students going for towels a lot more, but I also want to make sure that we're picking the right one. So when you go to pick a towel, you have to take into consideration what size cat we're working on. You don't want to get a small little hand towel to work on a full-size cat. We want to make sure that it's going to cover their whole body. So we want it to be, the right size, big enough. We also want it to be a good thickness. You don't want ones that are really thin or have a bunch of holes in them. Remember, we're putting this over the cat to kind of protect ourselves and help them feel safe, so we don't want them to easily be able to bite through it and potentially get us on the other side of it. So a good thick towel is better, but you don't want it so thick that you can't feel the animal underneath it either. I generally fold my towel in half no matter what I'm doing with it. I don't like having a lot of towel extra hanging all over the place. So I always fold it in half so I have that double thickness going on when I'm working with the animal. And then in most of the videos that you've seen so far, I show this underneath the cat and then I use it to fold over. But I'm going to grab a kitten right now and I'll show you how we can also use it over the top of the cat. Okay, so like I said in a lot of the other videos, you saw that I would have the towel underneath the kitten, and then we can easily put it up over the top. But on these guys that are squirmy, which is the majority of what we have in the hospital, I find it easier to just go ahead and hold him from underneath and then lay the towel over the top of him. And I do want to make sure again that his head is covered so that he can't get to me. So then I'm going to put my hands just resting on his head so I know where his head is at. And then I'm just gonna kind of tuck him in. So remember, I want this to be kind of tight. I want to take away all his area that he's going to try to get away. So I have my hands here holding right around his neck. So this is his head right here. So I just have my fingers underneath his jaw so I know where his head is at. And then I have my thumbs resting on his shoulder blades. So if he tries to come up, I've taken away that movement for him. So now I've blocked forward movement and upward movement. Left and right are blocked here, and then I have my him up against me to block the movement to the back. So if he's really mean and a doctor wants to come in and do an exam, I can easily, again, always hold your hand here so I know where his head is at, but I can lift this up and then the doctor can come in and be able to listen, use their stethoscope, even give sub-Q injections or IM injections if they need to. I can cover him back up, and then I can always go back to putting him in either lateral and flipping him like this and pulling him in tight, again keeping the towel nice and tight around him, or I can always put him back in sternal, or if I needed to move him to the edge of the table to put him in jugular. So I have lots of options, sternal, jugular down here as well. So that is how we would use a towel to help control this little precious creature.